everybody? This is BucosLocker. Welcome to another episode of Locker Room Talk. Long time no see. Haven't seen y'all in a long time. I hope everybody's been doing good. Staying safe, staying healthy. Hope your family's doing well. Shouts out to all the Bandits and Pirates doing your thing. Shouts out to all the Bucs social media platforms. Keep supporting the team. You know the original intro. Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. Share all the videos. And of course, you better have that notification bell icon because I make videos out the blue, especially in the off season. My off season has no consistency. Like 1 minute you might get 3 videos in 1 week. Next minute you might not hear from me in 2-3 weeks. I've never gone this long without making a video. I got stuff going on. I'm busy on my purpose. But I'm always around. I'm always watching. Just because I don't make videos, that does not mean I'm not watching. But I'm back though. Just like, I've seen somebody in the comment. Shouts out to everybody in the comment section. I'm in the middle of driving. It's raining right now in New Orleans. On my way to do a little bit of skating, but I see the comment section. Shouts out to Bucs Gang 101, Young DZ, what up? Who else in the chat room? Steven, what up, Steven? Chad, what up? Who else in the chat room? What y'all doing right now? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to let everybody gather around. We got stuff to talk about. Fabo, what up, man? I really can't see the names because I'm trying to drive at the same time, so I'm trying to glance and give shouts outs at the same time. But I'm back! I'm back. Just like this topic. Everyone's back. Right? Everyone's back, which is surprising. Which is a very surprising thing for me. Because I wasn't expecting this. Now don't take it in a bad way that I'm not say it like that. But I was not expecting everybody to come back. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Remember, I'm not a fortune teller. I had no idea that everybody was going to come back from last year. I wasn't expecting this. But I was prepared. I've been preparing notes. I've been preparing my notes just in case it was to happen. Because I know some people were like, you said that, this and that was going to happen. And, he wasn't going to come back. And they not going to keep everybody. I know what I said. The receipts are in the videos. I know what I said. But I'm still surprised that everybody came back. But we'll get to that part as far as the future later on in this video. But let's get down to the moves that the Bucs have made. Now, I'm not going to go too much in details because I have notes on this, so I'm just going to kind of like talk about. I'm not going to go into details about the contracts and stuff like that because I'm driving right now. If I was sitting down and I had my notes, I've been jotting notes down. But if I was sitting down, I would literally go through like each contract and break it down. So I don't think this video is going to be a long video, but I'm just going to kind of touch bases on what has been the transactions that the Bucs have made. Now, coming into this offseason, coming off a Super Bowl victory against the Kansas City Chiefs in Tampa for the first time in NFL history, the home team has hosted the Super Bowl, and the Bucs went on to win that game in convincing, fashion. And then the offseason here, and there was a lot of question marks that the Bucs had about their roster and who they're going to bring back. Are they going to have enough money with the situation with the pandemic, and are they going to have enough money with the salary cap not being, in every team's favor? The Bucs had some decisions to make, and how would they go about 2021? I'm not going to go too much into 2022 and 2023. That's kind of another video, but I'll touch on a little bit. But this was all about this season. And I remember if you go back to my previous videos about all these moves that was made, and I told y'all this, and I said, this is a 2-year window. And I still stand on that. With the current roster, with the current setup, it's a 2-year window. This is year number 2. I hope you follow me on this, folks. Is this long term? Is this a 5-year, 6-year type roster? No. I think we know that. I think we all on board as far as trying to win now, right? And I get that part, right? Because last year it was Super Bowl of bust, and we got there, we won, and with the current roster and the way it's set up with the money, the TV deal, and all that stuff like that, there's an opportunity for the salary cap to go up. But remember, when salary cap go up, the contracts go up from players because it got to match it. So it was about 181 million, 182 million as far as salary cap, and the Bucs had some questions to be made, and the questions were, Shaq, Barrett, and then Chris Godwin and Levante David. Those were the 3 main people that I was focused on. I was like, it's going to be kind of hard for the Bucs to give long-term contracts to all 3 of them. Especially Shaq, Barrett, and Chris Godwin. Well, the Bucs proceeded to franchise Chris Godwin. His cap hit is $15 million, $15.9 million, which is like, okay, that's a big cap hit. That's not even saying that's not even the long-term deal. That's $15 million. So $15.9 million. Now, could have Chris Godwin gotten more if he would have hit the market? Of course. But here's the deal. For 2022, if the salary cap go up, that number goes up. Remember, you still got to give him a contract. It's a 1-year deal with Chris Godwin. And he deserves $15 million easy, right? But next year, 2022, he's going to get more than $15 million. I think we can kind of agree on that, especially if he has a really good year, which I think he will have, as long as he stays healthy. And he's probably going to command about $18 million in 2022. But I'm not going to get too much into 2022. But I'm just kind of touching bases on it, like with Chris Godwin. So that's $15.9 million, 1 year franchise deal. Congratulations, Chris Godwin, well deserved. I'm glad the Bucs were able to keep you. I told y'all this. I'm not going to get upset if anybody leaves the team. If the Bucs can keep these guys, kudos to the Bucs, right? And remember, the front office guys, from the salary cap guy to the Jason Light, all got to be on the same page. Now, mind you, they didn't make this move by franchising Chris Godwin and saying that this is it. They're trying to negotiate a deal with Chris Godwin, right? And the Bucs cap right now, they don't have a lot of cap room right now. So I think they can make a deal with Chris Godwin, but of course they're going to have to backload it to make sure the salary cap hit for the 2021 season is low. And the Bucs were able to re-sign Shaq Barrett, a 5-year deal, or was it a 4-year deal? It was $72 million, right? I think it was like $36 million guaranteed. I didn't look at the $72 million. I didn't look at that. I look at the guarantee money and I divide it into the years of the contract. And you're gonna get 2 years minimum out of this deal, like guaranteed. So if you take the guaranteed money, right? And this is how I look at it. Some people look at contracts different. I look at contracts specifically focused on the guaranteed money. It's a 4-year deal. You're gonna get 2 solid years out of this deal with Shaq Barrett. He's 27 years old. So by the time he's 29, that contract will be reevaluated. That's just in my opinion. So I'm looking at it from a 2-year deal, $36 million, $18 million a year deal. 2 years, $36 million. That's how I look at it. Guaranteed money. Do not look at the total amount of money in the years. You know what I'm saying? Do not look at the total number of years and the money. Always focus on the guaranteed money. That means he's guaranteed to get that. So how I look at it, $36 million guaranteed, 2 years, $36 million. $18 million a year. That's how I'm looking at it. Which is right around what he's supposed to get. $18 to $20 million a year. And I think that contract will be reevaluated after 2 years as far as the cap hit. Because he's going to have a big cap hit down the road. That's a whole other conversation. But And then Levante David, Levante David, he got a deal. It was a 2-year, I believe it was 2-year, $25 million. I'm sorry, folks, I don't have my notes in front of me, but a 2-year, $25 million deal. I think it was like $12.5 million per year annual salary average. I forgot the guarantee on that deal with Levante David on that 2-year deal. I think it was like $20 or $22 million guaranteed, or something like that. Anybody in the comment section can kind of check on that for me. What was the guaranteed money on Levante David's contract? Because this is a 2-year extension. Was it $20 million or was it 22? Or was it 24? What was the guaranteed money on Levante's contract? Well, I'm a very good driver. I got this. Can anybody tell me the guaranteed number, the guaranteed money for Levante David? I'm not talking about the overall number. I need the guaranteed number. I forgot what the guaranteed number was. But whatever the number was, I look at it from a 2-year deal. I think it's like $10, $11 million a year. And a lot of these contracts got voidable years too. So keep that in mind. And it works hand in hand. So the Bucs were able to re-sign Shaq Barrett, Lavonte David, $20 million. Okay, $20 million. Okay, so 2-year, $10 million $10 million a year. So the Bucs were able to re-sign Shaq Barrett, give Chris Godwin a franchise, and extend Lavonte David. And they were able to stay under the cap. But a lot of that was pushed back. A lot of the things that the Bucs are doing right now, they're kicking the can down the road. The exact same thing that the Saints did. And the Saints got, bashed for that, right? We all laughed at the Saints and about them kicking the can down the road. The Bucs are doing the same thing as well. $20 million guaranteed though. So that's 2-year, $10 million a year deal. So basically the Bucs are kicking the can down the road with the money. Think about this, if they were able to re-sign all 3 and be under cap, that's kicking the can down the road. The same thing that most teams are doing with the voidable years. With the voidable years. Oh, that's a bus stop. With the voidable years that the Bucs are doing with these contracts. So we're gonna see how these contracts come about down the road. And I'm able to park now. I can really talk to you guys now about the park. But it's amazing that the Bucs were able to do these things and stay under the cap and have the ability to make other moves. And I'll get to those moves in a second. So, all right, here we go. Now let's talk. So the Bucs were able to keep the main 3 guys that they really wanted to keep and stay under the salary cap, right? And that allowed the Bucs to make the moves that they made after those 3 guys. And they were able to extend Donovan Smith. What's up, Karen, the ball chief? They were able to extend Donovan Smith, which was a very interesting extension because he was like $14.2 million guaranteed, $14.2 million. He had no years left on his contract, and it was $14.2 million this year. He was going to be a cap hit at $14.2 million, and the Bucs were able to extend that contract, give him 2 extra years, and lessen his cap hit for 2021. And I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me, folks. I don't know the exact numbers, but the extension was like a 2-year. I think it was like, I forgot, it was like $30-some million. It was something like that. And a lot of people made a fuss about it. Like a lot of people started, questioning that deal. Like a lot of people didn't like that move that Jason Licht did with Donovan Smith, him getting extended. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it. Middle of the road left tackle, middle of the pack left tackle. He's average, right? He's an average guy. He's not really bad. Yes, he's played well, but that also has a lot to do with Tom Brady's. See, a lot of people don't understand how that works with the hand in hand with the quarterbacks with quick releases and the O line, because that can make an O line look really good. You know what I'm saying? Like quick release and all that. So, in my personal opinion, I think Donovan Smith is a decent left tackle, average middle of the road. 64 starting left tackles. He's right in there in that 32 to 36. If you had to look at right tackles and left tackles, if you put them all together, it's 64 tackles. Now, if you do left tackles only, it's 32 left tackles, 32 starting left tackles, and I have Donovan Smith in the middle of it, 16, 17, 18-ish. That's just me. But to give him that type of money, look, we'll see. Donovan Smith's ceiling, does he have another level? I don't know. No, AB is not back yet. No, he's not. But I just thought that extension was kind of interesting. But it's kind of hard to find left tackles too. You know what I'm saying? Especially like, ones that you can just put in, plug and play. And looking at this draft, drafting at 32. It was going to be hard for the Bucs to draft a left tackle and throw him in there, or unless they switch Tristian Wrifs to left tackle, which I think they would do down the road, because he's young. He's very good at right tackle. He's actually too good to be playing. He's too good to be playing right tackle to me. I think he'll be a better left tackle. I think he'll be better than Donovan Smith at left tackle. I think Donovan Smith would be a hell of a guard. I keep telling people that. I know people like, he don't like Donovan Smith. I think Donovan Smith will be a hell of a guard. I think he will be a hell of a guard, or even a right tackle. But he's an average left tackle. And the Bucs gave him an extension. Is he going to get all of that? I don't know. But he's guaranteed to play 2021 and 2022. Now, 2023, Tristian Wrifs contract situation. It's and I think we know, if you know football, if you understand numbers, I think we know it's going to be very hard to keep everybody and give everybody really good contracts. So that, I thought that was an interesting extension. I wouldn't say it was bad, and I'm not going to say it was a really good idea to give him that type of extension, that type of money. And per annual salary, that puts Donovan Smith in the top 10. Does anybody think Donovan Smith a top 10 left tackle? I mean, everybody got their own opinion, and I respect everybody's opinion. I'm not here to bash anybody, but I respect your opinion and you respect mine. But does anybody think Donovan Smith is a top 10 left tackle? He's getting paid like one. Not in my book. But hey, we all got different opinions. So, I go by the eye test. I've seen enough of Donovan Smith to let me know that he's an average left tackle. But to get paid like a top 10 left tackle, nah, bro, I can't ride with you on that one. Jason Light, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm entitled to my opinions like you are. But I thought that was an interesting extension. I didn't too much really care about the extension. I think it was more about the money. It's like, no, that's not it. 14, no, top 10 paid left tackle. Because he don't play like that consistently. And I know people gonna say, well, after week 12, Donovan Smith played really good. Was that a product of Tom Brady's release, or that was actually Donovan Smith playing really good? A mixture of both. Because he did step his game up. He had to. Especially after that Bears game. Whew, that was horrible. Top left tackles don't have that type of game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jay Ellis, you see it. Because he got a lot of help from the tight end. Rob Gronkowski, a lot of people don't really realize how important Rob Gronkowski was to that offensive line. And I know a lot of people say that was the same team. No. Because when you add a 6'6", 260-pound tight end to help the tackle, specifically left tackle, that helps a lot. And Donovan Smith received some help. He did. Not all the time, but he did receive help blocking D ends, because they knew that he struggled. They knew that. So when people say that was the same O-line, Tristian Wrifs and Gronkowski really made a huge difference, folks. I think people don't realize that part right there, like, because we know that the Bucs had O-line issues for quite some time, going back to Kenyatta Walker, Donald Penn, DeMar Dotson. I mean, people don't really. That's why when people say that was the same O-line, no, man. Two pieces make that O-line really good. They hit on Tristian Wrifs. That right there alone changed the O-line by itself. What's up, Malcolm? Tristian Wrifs is a top 10 right tackle. Tristian Wrifs is the second best O-lineman and soon to be the best O-lineman. Let that sink in. First year player was the second best O-lineman. But people say that was the same O-line. No. Sometimes it takes a piece or two to change an entire O-line, because now you can concentrate and help other areas that lacking on the O-line. Right guard, left tackle. Jansen got a chance to help Alex Cappa quite a bit during the season. Go back and watch the film. They didn't have to worry about Tristian Wrifs against Cameron Jordan, Brian Burns. They was able to slide that protection to Donovan Smith and kind of help out Alex Cappa. People don't realize how important Tristian Wrifs was. He was a key part of that O-line. The second best O-lineman as a rookie. You want to talk about an upgrade from DeMar Dotson to Tristian Wrifs? A huge upgrade. Dotson was in his mid-30s. Tristan's early 20s. That's a huge upgrade. How can people say that was the same O-line? I can't follow that narrative. That is not the same O-line with Tristian Wrifs and Rob Gronkowski. That doesn't even add up. I'm just trying to get y'all to see the bigger picture and stop reading media narratives. That was not the same O-line. It was not. Just because two moves, a tight end to help the left tackle and a right tackle, that was one of the steals of the drafts. That tackle class, to me, Thomas, Becton, Willis, and Wrifs, those four guys are going to be really good. And then Alex, and I'm about to talk about it in a second. Then Aaron Stinnie got brought back on the team. Backup swing. He's a swing guard. He can play left or right guard. He could probably play center too, but he was brought back for 1 year. That was a really good move for depth, but I still think the Bucs should draft another O-lineman or two in this coming draft for depth, because, and I know a lot of people mention the Bucs are drafting for depth now for the first time in a long time. Picking at 32, picking at the back end of every round is a first for the Bucs. Unless the Bucs do some wheeling and dealing, which I don't think they really need to do, because they got everybody back. They just need to draft. They just need to have a solid draft. They need to plan for 2022 and 2023 and 2024. This draft is not for this year. It's for next year and the year after that. And I'll get to that in a second. For the first time in a long time, the Bucs are drafting for depth. And if I was the Bucs, if I was Jason Light and the player personnel director in the scouting team, I will focus on the trenches, because if you look at the trenches on both sides, the Bucs really need to address that. Trust me. Go look at the guys on the D-line and go look at the guys on the O-line contracts for 2022 and 2023. I'm telling you. But Stinnie was brought back, which is great. And I'll get to a couple other guys. I haven't got to them in a second, but I'm going down the list of what I remember. That was a good re-signing for Arians Stinnie for depth, right? But I suggest the Bucs do something with the Alex Cappa situation. Are they going to give him a contract, or they're going to draft somebody? Ryan Jansen, $10 million center. Do you go younger and cheaper in the draft? For future. So those two positions that the Bucs really gotta focus on for 2022. So also, and I'll leave the O-line alone for a second. The next guy is playoff Lenny, Leonard Fournette. They brought him back. I guess Leonard Fournette overvalued himself. I guess he thought that the market for him was going to be really big, and it actually was not. The market for Leonard Fournette was not what he thought it would be. Him and his agent, they bet on themselves for 1 year, and they was hoping to cash in on a big contract, and that did not happen. And due to a number of reasons, because teams are weary about Leonard Fournette's attitude. The talent is there, but I think he got a bad rep from the Jacksonville Jaguar situation. Um, that kind of scared teams away. I think being with the Bucs for another year is probably the best situation for Fournette. And there was some rumors out there that he wanted to be the main guy, and he wanted to be the number one guy, and he has a chance to be the number one guy. He has a chance to be the guy in Tampa. Now, coming into this season, you go off of what have you done for me lately, and based on what we've seen, dating back to end of the season, going into the playoffs and the Super Bowl, you would kind of say Leonard Fournette is the starter, right? I mean, let's just kind of be honest. And I thought this from last year that I personally thought Leonard Fournette should have been the starter by week 8, but it took him towards the end of the season, going into the playoffs, to be the starter. And he took that job, literally. And I think coming into the season, I think the Bucs are still will implement a 2-back system. But I think Leonard Fournette will be the guy, if that makes sense. He will be the guy getting the most carries, probably the most catches, and for Ronald Jones' sake, he's up for contract next year. I don't know what the Bucs going to do with that situation there. And it sucks for Ronald Jones that he really still hasn't got a chance to be the guy. Whether it was injuries or the staff still kind of shaky on him. And a lot of it has to do with himself too, not being able to catch the ball, and his pass blocking skills were subpar. So, Ronald Jones, man, I kind of feel, because he's been trying. He's improved. But ever since that Dork Cutter situation, D-O-R-K, Dork, they didn't believe in the guy. And Arians gave him a chance. And he showed up. But something's not there. I don't know what it is. Whether it's catching the ball, pass protection, or hitting the holes correctly. But he had a good season last year. And now he has to compete again against Leonard Fournette. It's a battle, folks. And right now, Leonard Fournette has the edge. But when you look at it from a chess standpoint, the Bucs can draft for down the road. Now, I know they drafted Keyshawn Vaughn in the 3rd round last year, which I thought was not a good move. They should have drafted a D lineman or O lineman. I don't understand that pick. I don't understand. No offense to Keyshawn Vaughn, I just didn't understand that pick. He didn't even start at kick. Wasn't even doing kick returns or punt returns. Like, that was a value pick. That 3rd round picks are very valuable, and they can be used if you pick correctly. That 3rd round pick can be a borderline starter or a very impactful player for special teams. I don't understand that Keyshawn Vaughn pick. There were other running backs that you probably could have got that was better. That actually is better. Go look at the running back class last year. Very deep. Very deep. And I'm not going to write off Keyshawn Vaughn yet, but now he's buried behind. He's buried. He's not starting over Leonard Fournette. He's not starting over Ronald Jones. Keyshawn Vaughn is 3rd string running back again. Is he a 3rd down running back? I don't know. We haven't seen enough of Keyshawn Vaughn, so the jury's still out on him. I wasn't a fan of the pick. I wanted the Bucs to pick an O lineman or a D lineman or actual good punt returner, kick returner guy, and the Bucs didn't. So that pick right there, I did not like. Let's just be honest. I just did not like that pick. There's no nothing personal against Keyshawn Vaughn. I did not like that pick. It didn't make any sense to me. But now you bring back Leonard Fournette. Because if Leonard Fournette wouldn't have came back, then Keyshawn Vaughn would have been, okay, now we about to see what he about to do. But now you bring Fournette back, Ronald Jones, and both of those guys are injury prone. So maybe, just maybe, that Keyshawn Vaughn might get a chance to play if one of them get hurt. And it doesn't hurt. You can't have too many running backs. I will say that. But there were better running backs last year, to me, even after the 2nd round. But if the Bucs plan for the future, they could draft a running back at 32, or even in the 2nd round. Now, y'all know I'm a fan of Travis Etienne, Najee Harris. If he's sitting there, Kansas City did it last year with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If ETN's sitting there at 32, you literally just gonna not even gonna draft him. I'm just saying, because if you had to ask me, Travis Etienne is better than all three of them. And you got to think about it too. Each running back, besides Keyshawn Vaughn, like Rojo up for contract next year, and Leonard Fournette signed a 1-year deal. So once again, this is one of those situations where the Bucs can draft for 2022, 2023, 2024 at the running back position, because who knows? Fournette and Ronald Jones, they're not going to sign them both. We're not going to draft. The Bucs are not going to sign Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones to long-term contracts 2022. I think we can agree on that. So the Bucs going to need a running back next year, unless the Bucs wait till next year to get a running back. But that's neither here or there. Scratch that. Let's get on to the next one. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm a fan of Travis Etienne and Najee Harris. I think both of those guys are better than Ronald Jones and Fournette and Keyshawn Vaughn. Just better all-around backs. And I think a lot of us wouldn't be mad. I don't think a lot of us will be mad if the Bucs drafted Najee Harris or Travis Etienne at 32. First down. I'll be ecstatic. But then the Bucs was able to sign Rob Gronkowski. Oh yeah, Javonte Williams, North Carolina running back, gaining a lot of steam. I like that North Carolina running back. Actually, I actually like both of those North Carolina running backs, and the other one was coming out next year. If you haven't seen Javonte Williams, go pop in the tape at North Carolina, and him and his running mate. Oh my, that guy's good too. He'll get drafted next year. Yeah, Javonte Williams, and forgot number 25. Number 8 is Javonte Williams, and then number 25 is what's the name of the number 25? Number 25 from North Carolina, the other running back, because Javonte Williams is a beast, and the number 25 is just as good as just as good. I think he's going to be a first round, second round pick. He's a beast. But yeah, Javonte is nice. So if all three of them are sitting there at 32. Yeah, Carter, that's his name. Go watch Carter too. Don't. I like Javonte Williams. He's a beast, but Carter was nice too. Both of those guys are all around backs. Remember, and I'm just a fan of those guys. Like, go look at each one of those backs. All three of them are impactful players. Carter's a beast. Najee Harris is a beast. Travis Etienne is a beast. And all three of them are better than the running backs we got right now. Huge upgrade. But anyway, the Bucs were able to sign Rob Gronkowski to a 1-year deal. I think it was like $10 million or 9.5 guaranteed. And they voided some years in the back end, but that's just one of those little loopholes that a lot of teams are using, voided years. But yeah, Rob Gronkowski's coming back. He flirted with the Buffalo Bills. And that was just him having fun. He wanted to feel wanted. He was never going to Buffalo. But that was cool. But he's back. So that's a huge deal. It looks like he's gonna probably do like 1-year contracts moving forward for the rest of his career. Is this his last year? Who knows? It's up in the air. But that position needs to be addressed too, because Cameron Brate, $6.5 million or whatever, $4 million, $6.5 million cap hit, and I don't even know what the Bucs gonna do with Cameron Brate. And also O.J. Howard, he'll be up for contract next year too, because the Bucs did pick up his 5th-year option, which was interesting, but injury prone. And I wanted to see him last year. Michael Carter, Javonte Williams, and Michael Carter. Go pop in the North Carolina Tar Heels football tape last year. Both of them guys was beast. But O.J. Howard, a lot of people had high hopes on him. A lot of people had high expectations. And he's been quite a disappointment. He shows flashes of talent, but didn't put up the numbers that we thought he would do. Has not shown his true skill set injuries, drop balls, not being focused, was in doghouse, tip balls leading to interceptions. Like O.J. Howard had multiple issues going on his entire time in Tampa. I mean, the tip balls causing interceptions, he was responsible for him by himself about 2 or 3 of them. Like literally by himself. 2 or 3 interceptions by himself. And then he had boneheaded plays, not blocking well. Like, I don't know. And I think the Bucs' plan was to bring in Rob Gronkowski to kind of mentor O.J. Howard. So I'm looking forward to seeing what O.J. Howard does, but I don't think I'm not going to put a lot of stock in O.J. Howard. 5th-year option picked up, and you got to put up a shut up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Got to put up a shut up. Cameron Brate, looks like the Bucs are going to keep him, or he might be a cap hit. I don't know. Or they might restructure his contract. So that's going to be an interesting situation. So the tight end situation is kind of semi-set with Gronkowski and O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate. But I don't expect all 3 of them to be back next year. Yeah, the Memphis running back pretty good too. Some good running backs this year that we can upgrade with. But I don't see all 3 tight ends coming back next year in 2022. So that's a position that we can address coming forward in this draft as well. What's the other position? I know people talking about Antonio Brown. I don't think his market is. I think his market is Tampa. Teams are not too fond of Antonio Brown. They don't want to deal with Antonio Brown, and I think he had to blame himself. His last chance at a big contract was with the Raiders or the Patriots, and he blew that. And he still got legal issues too. But we got depth there, so I'm not really tripping if AB don't come back. And I just heard reports that the Bucs are looking at Larry Fitzgerald because of the Arians light connection. So, can you imagine the Bucs get Larry Fitzgerald? Oof. That's a 3rd down receiver right there. 1st down every time. Brady throwing to Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald still got some juice in him. Can he start? No, we're not asking Larry Fitzgerald to be starting and doing all this extra stuff. We're asking him to mentor Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and be reliable on 3rd downs and not have any locker room issues or any off the field issues pending. Now, who would you rather have? Larry Fitzgerald or Antonio Brown? For 1 year, for 1 more year. Because that's what it really is. Like, whoever, whether they sign Antonio Brown or Larry Fitzgerald, it's literally for 1 year. It's literally 1 year. It's not for 2 years or 3 years. It's literally, I repeat, 1 year. So, if the Bucs go after Fitzgerald, kudos to them, because of the connection. If they don't and they resign Antonio Brown, it is what it is, But we have depth there with Tyler Johnson and Scotty Miller too, and Justin Watson. So, as long as Justin Watson not running out routes. Justin Watson, them out routes, man. I hated that, man. I hated that out route, man. I'm glad they got rid of that. It took Tom Brady to get rid of that. Tom Brady said, no more out routes. Tom Brady said, no more out routes. And Arians was like, okay. So I'm kind of glad that they got rid of that stupid ass play. I'm sorry, stupid play. So Malcolm said he in the doghouse. Yeah, Scotty too hotty, man. He should be playing more, man. But AB took his spot for some strange reason. It's weird, but out routes. See, how many of y'all want to see them out routes next year or this year? I know y'all. I know. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Matter of fact, press 1 if you didn't like the out route. Press 1 if you didn't like the out route. Press 1, please. Press 1 if you didn't like the out route. Tom Brady said, get that crap out of here. Press 1. If you didn't like the out route, press 1, please. That out route caused so many interceptions. Like, good God almighty. My goodness, that out route was horrible. Why was that in the playbook? Period. Justin Watson can't even run the out route correctly. Nobody can in that offense. Yeah, out route equals pick 6. Every time, man, I was gasping for air every time an out route was called. Like, Jesus, stop throwing out routes. Justin Watt is the Peyton Barber of receivers. Justin Watson is the Peyton Barber of receivers. He's our Peyton Barber at receiver. Like, man, what are you doing, man? Giving you chances to make plays, man. You just can't. You can't hit a 90-degree correctly, man. Oh my gosh, man. We need some yak guys. We need a yak. We need yak. So on the other side, Ndamukong Suh came back, 1-year deal. I think $9 million up to $10 million. That was a good deal for Ndamukong Suh. He earned it. Let's be honest, he earned it. Don't get me started on Peyton Barber and Umawale. Do not get me started. Press 1 if you did. Press 1 if you thought Umawale and Peyton Barber was a detriment to the running game. Press 1, please. Press 1 if you thought Peyton Barber and Umawale was a detriment to the running game while they was here. They were negative. Press 1. Now, let's be honest, folks. Press 1 if you thought Umawale and Peyton Barber was a negative to the passing game and the running game. Because, you know, people glanced over that. They glanced over that. Oh, we was good at running back. Huh? Did you see those guys? Neither one of them are impactful where they at right now. Jacquizz Rodgers. Oh, my. Don't get me started with the Bucs running back history. Oh, my gosh. Do not get me started on the Bucs running back history. And people dance around that topic like the bouncy ball with the words. Jacquizz Rodgers was horrible. Whew. Jesus Christ. Bobby Rainey. Whew. Yikes. PED Doug Martin. That ain't gonna do it, dog. I'm glad we got better running backs now. Jesus, our running game was horrible. Anyway, our running game not horrible now. It's better. Bowling ball, Jacquizz Rodgers. Jacquizz Rodgers was a bowling ball, man. A bunch of nothing. But at least we got Ronald Jones playing at a better level and Leonard Fournette. Yeah, Keyshawn Vaughn reminds me of Peyton Barber too. Running style too. Ernest Graham was okay, but not nothing to be beating your chest over. Ernest Graham he was tough, but Charles Sims was good, but stayed hurt. Bowling ball, Jacquizz Rodgers. We had some horrible running backs, and nobody talks about that. They kept dancing around that topic. It's weird. But Ndamukong Suh was a good signing, 1-year deal. But our D line is we still need some impact. We need some juice on that D line. Let's be honest. I know it. JPP got 1 year left. We got nobody behind. Anthony Nelson, he's kind of like a Carl Nassib clone. Anthony Nelson is a Carl Nassib clone. No explosion in him. Outside of Shaq Barrett, we got nobody explosive. We got a lot of steady pass rushers, to be honest with you, JPP and Shaq Barrett are really only true pass rushers. Cam Gill, Anthony Nelson, Nacho, and Ndamukong Suh. Now Vita, he gets to push up the middle, but we need some juice on that D line and some youth. youth and some juice. Dip, rip. We need some dip, rip guys and get to bend that edge. We got these plotty big guys, and it's like we need some pass rushers. We got to keep blitzing. Remember, this is year 3. You don't think teams are studying Todd Bowles' blitzing packages? You don't think they're going to... We are a target now. Teams are going to really, really, really get after us. We better get some juice in that D-line. D-line and O-line is very important in this draft. Mark my words, folks. Outside of the running backs, D-line and O-line, I want to see that. Trenches. I want D-line. And now I'm leaning toward D-line being the focus for this draft. I think we could do one more year with not touching the O-line. Just one more. But I think this draft will be, I would not be surprised if the Bucs get 2 or 3 D linemen out of this draft. Because we need some young guys. We need some juice. We need some juice on that D-line, man. Like, there were some games last year I was like, man, we ain't got no juice. Like when Shaq Barrett takes a break and it's just JPP out there. How many times we done seen quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Mahomes, like with no pass rush. Like, damn, where the pass rush at? I mean, we want a Super Bowl game. I'm just breaking it down for you guys. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs get about 2 or 3 D linemen in this draft. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs go almost all defense this draft, but specifically D linemen, at least 2 of them. I see some names being popped up: Joseph Asai and Zach Collins, and the guy from Iowa, and stuff like that. You know, so I got to do a little bit more research on a couple of those guys. But Zach Collins is pretty good. The Miami D lineman is pretty decent. But we need some guys to groom. We need some guys. You know, when our linebacker has 9 sacks because he got a blitz, that's a sign of your D line is just not where it need to be at. I mean, and remember now, Devin White is not an outside linebacker. He's a inside linebacker. Now, outside linebacker with 9 sacks is cool. But an inside linebacker with 9 sacks, that means he had to blitz a lot. You don't think teams are paying attention to that? So, we'll see. The Bucs do need to address that. So, can't wait to see what the Bucs do on D lineman and O lineman in this draft. Because there's some depth there in the O line and D line this draft. It's not like top heavy, but there's a lot of depth spread it out. And I think there's some good players in this draft when it comes to the O lineman and D lineman. And the Bucs, at least in 7 rounds, they need to at least come away with 3 or 4 of those guys off the trenches. 2 D linemen, 1 O lineman, 2 O linemen, 1 D lineman, 2 O linemen, 2 D linemen. They need to get the trenches addressed moving forward. Because 2022, 2023, go look at that roster. Go look at Sportrack. Look at the numbers. Look at the money. Got to draft for the future, man. Depth, groom people. That's how good organizations stay good, and they stay ready and available, and they stay competitive because they draft. Once they get to a level, they draft for need and future, and they develop, and that's what makes good organizations stay on top because they develop players. They draft them and they develop them. They get them some playing time their rookie season, and they develop them. You know what I'm saying? So, I get it. Picking last in the draft is tough, but good organizations stay good, man. Maybe you can trade back into the 2nd round and get a couple extra picks. Like, anybody want to come back up and get a quarterback or get their guy? Well, we need your 2nd and your 4th round pick. That means we'll have 2 2nd round picks and 2 4th round picks. You gotta learn how to wheel and deal. Let's see what else. So, I've talked about everybody, right? I talked about all the contracts. Who got signed? Oh yeah, Brady had a extension with voidable years, so he's here for another year, 2021 and 2022, of course. So to me, what the Bucs have done is the Bucs are trying to squeeze every bit of juice out of the lemon with this roster because the Bucs know they got to pay people. They know that. They know that. I mean, why not squeeze every bit of the juice out of the lemon with this current roster? Because when you have a quarterback like Brady, aka assistant head coach, aka the assistant GM, aka the assistant capologist, aka the player personnel director, you know, or assistant, you know, like Brady has a role in the organization. It's not just quarterback. I want people to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like Brady has a lot of power in Tampa, like literally. Like people don't even realize that because he's done it. He's done it. He's done it. He's been in New England all those years. He understands, okay, do this right here, do this right here. And it took 12 weeks for Bruce Arians to understand Brady kind of knows how to win championships. And you go back and look at the Super Bowl, he didn't put up no big numbers. They had a good running game, solid defense, and put up some decent passing numbers, and we won the game. We won a playoff game when he threw 3 interceptions. Look at the Saints game. Look at the Packers game. We won both of those games, and Brady wasn't even that good. Let me repeat. We won a playoff game. Brady threw 3 interceptions. That's rare. Defense, special teams. See how that works? The team won the game. We won a Super Bowl, but Mike Evans had 1 catch. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin was a non-factor in the Super Bowl. We still won. 201 yards passing with 146, 150 yards rushing. Great defense. Perfect formula. That no risky, no biscuit stuff that Arians was producing in 2019 in the early 2020. Nope. So it's not hard to figure it out, folks. Y'all seen the game. Y'all seen the playoffs. Redskins, Washington football team, Saints, Packers, Chiefs. Go look at the games. And tell me if the reason why we got there was because of one person. Just throwing it out there. Just take a look at the games. We won a Super Bowl with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin was a non-factor. I need y'all to let that sink in. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans was a non-factor in the Super Bowl. They didn't do anything really. They didn't do nothing. And we still won. Young DZ 2007. Do we draft Trayvon Moore if he's available at 32? That's that safety from TCU, right? I think that's the safety from TCU. I think he's nice. Yeah, that safety from TCU is nice. I believe that's him. Trayvon Moore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw some tape on him, man. He's nice. And the Bucs will have to address the safety position because Whitehead and Edwards are up for contract in the next year or two. I mean, we got Antoine Winfield Jr., but we're gonna need another one because I know Whitehead going to get paid, and Mike Edwards might want to get paid. I believe those guys was in the 2018 draft, 18-19 draft. So you think about it, 2018. That means his contract up, 2022. Extension maybe. So yeah, but he said, Jay, come on, man. He said for the last time, Arians is trash. So, okay, Jordan Whitehead was drafted in 2017. So, guess what? This is last year. Unless he has a breakout year. So, you might want to look at the safety position. Because Jordan Whitehead is a starter. Trayvon Moore is pretty nice, man. And Jordan Whitehead was drafted in the 5th round, I believe. So that's a 4-year deal. And year number 4 is 2022. Oh, no. I'm sorry. If he got drafted in 2017, that means this year is his last year. Or possibly last year. Anybody drafted in 2017, if you're not in the 1st round, this is your last year. Unless if you was a 1st round pick there's a possibility your 5th-year option can be picked up. And I think Vita was drafted in the 2017 draft, right? Was Vita drafted in 2017 or 18? So yeah, which one is which? I think it's O.J. Howard. O.J. Howard was 2017. O.J. Howard was 2017. Vita was the next year. Vita was 2018. Right? Yeah. So O.J. Howard was 2017. This is it for him. Like, after this season, he needs a contract. Anybody drafted in 2017, this is it. So whoever, I forgot the draft class. It was O.J. Howard. Was Carlton Davis 2017? Carlton Davis was 2017, right? I don't have my notes in front of me. I had all this written down. I'm trying to remember all this stuff. Okay, so Carlton Davis 2017, wasn't he? And then Vita was 18. So Vita, next year, that'll be his 4th year, meaning, do you give him a 5th-year option? So Carlton Davis was 2018. So that means 2022, next year, will be his last year, unless we give him a contract extension. O.J. Howard, bruh, you a first-round pick. So anyway, go look at the numbers, folks. 2017 and 2018 draft class. You got to address them. You got to. 2017 draft class, 2018 draft class. What you going to do? You going to pick up, you going to give him extension, pick up the option for Vita? Like, Jordan Whitehead was 2018. I'm telling you. Right. But Bucs got some decisions to make these next year or two. They really do. But anyway, other than that, folks, I think I kind of topped off everything. Did I miss anything in free agency? I'm sorry I didn't go into details about a lot of stuff. I really want to do that. I really want to go into detail. I want to bring some of you guys when I'm gonna set up a time this week and do a locker room talk and bring people on and get their thoughts on the free agency and the draft and stuff like that, pre-draft and all that stuff like that. I spent this about an hour going on right now, so I'm about to go take off and go do something. But I'm gonna set up a time frame that I'm gonna bring you guys on, and we can all talk about what are your thoughts on the signing and your thoughts on the draft, pre-draft. The Bucs took care of their internal household, and they didn't make any moves outside, bringing in outsiders. They brought all their people back, which, okay, I get it. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts when I do the actual locker room talk on StreamYard. So stand by for that. So with that being said, I'm about to go exercise. Gotta stay fit, you know. A little cardio, a little leg workout too. Flexibility and stuff like that. What kind of car I'm driving? I got 4 wheels. How about that? Yeah, I got 4 wheels, man. It's nice. So, I got 4 wheels. That's the best I can give you. Take a guess. Corvette. If you can hear it, yeah, I'll give you an idea of what I'm driving. Can you hear it? Can you hear what I'm driving? Corvette. Corvette. Anyway, with that being said, appreciate everybody coming out. I'm about to eat my apple. I got it. Appreciate everybody coming out. I'm glad you enjoyed the live stream. Shouts out to all the bandits, the pirates doing your thing. Keep supporting the channel. Appreciate the super chat, Byron Moore and Bucs Game 101. Humble. And I'm looking forward to having you guys come on sometime this week, and we're gonna do a real locker room talk, and I'm gonna bring you guys on. So be ready with your questions and your topics. So we got a lot to talk about. I've been gone for 3 weeks. And shouts out to Travis, man. He been laying low. We all been laying low. It's off season. I'm enjoying my off season. With that being said, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. So with that being said, I want y'all to fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag, and a new hashtag facts over feelings. BucosLocker signing out. Enjoy your day.